Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Welcome back, eSIMstudios. Hope everybody's doing okay on this July 4th, 2025. Got a little bit of a cold, so apologize if I sound congested, but it is what it is. It's been pouring down rain here. Just actually flooded quite a bit down here in South Texas. It's all over the news. I think they said like 23 people, something like that, are can't be found, something crazy like that. I was just looking at the news like, what the hell is going on? It poured down rain, but man, that sucks. But anyways, we are here. Man, I'm trying to get away from StreamYard. It's a streaming service, web-based. It sucks. Like, it was okay when I first started streaming a couple years ago, and it just progressively got worse and worse. I didn't stream yesterday. I was going to, but I had downloaded Streamlabs, which is a competitor. And holy crap, are there so many options? I got carried away trying to set up the stream. that I looked down at the clock and I was like, whoa, it's already like 8 p.m. I was like, I can't do it. But I'm using something called, who owns this? What is this called? XSplit Broadcast. Pretty simple, and quality looks pretty good. So it's just getting used to doing that stuff. Getting used to all the controls. It's not as intuitive. I mean, it's very intuitive, but not as complicated, should I say, as Streamlabs. Anyways, that's more behind the scenes stuff. But I came across, so there's a brand new leak. So what we're gonna get into, there's a brand new leak of Galaxy Z Fold 7 images. You're gonna be impressed. This thing, the more images the real ones that leak out, the more this thing looks awesome. Like, looks freaking badass, right? And we also have S26 news or S26 Ultra news. And then somebody on Twitter redesigned the phone 3. Like, it's obviously not the look and or the phone or the phone 3 that's being released, but if they had just made a few small changes, it actually looks halfway decent. Like, I think I probably would have purchased the device if it looked like this render that this person made. And we'll get into that, right? I got notified. I got 2 emails by Nothing saying, hey, the phone 3 is ready to pre-order. Delete. I deleted both of those emails. I'm not ordering the thing. Again, I might in the future, but if I can find one for like $400 maybe, right? But there's so many other options out there. It's not even worth buying. Let's see. And I'm still trying to figure out how to get the chat up here on the screen. Damn, Angel, you pre-ordered the FiberBorne case for it already? That's sweet. Yeah. Trust me, it's gonna be so thin. Did you get it in the mail yet, or they haven't shipped them out? The FiberBorne case, because that's it. That's gonna be like the only case to get for the Fold 7. It's gonna be so thin that you're gonna want a razor thin case for that phone, and That's basically like literally the only case I would ever use on that device is the thin-borne, FiberBorne, whatever whichever one. They would look awesome. So, oh, and let me pull up. Hang on, just a second here. Let me pull up a browser so you can browse the web with me in a minute. I got some pictures and stuff that I'm going to pull up on display, but I want to have a browser ready here so we can surf the web. Okay, so we got that set up. Let me go ahead and get a, let's see, and then we will get the Fold 7 picture here. So a little bit of quick news before we get into the Fold. I'll make this very quick. In regards to CPU news, stuff that flew under the radar, the Trump administration, they lifted the ban on software that companies like TSMC use and software like Samsung uses. They lifted the exportation of that software. So part of the reason or how the Trump administration was pinching off China for making CPUs is there's the components, the physical hardware, these huge machines that you for packing physically making these advanced CPUs. They put a restriction on those, although China's already has some of those. But they also, so you have the hardware that builds the CPUs, but you also have to have the software, right, that goes with and building these CPUs. Well, he lifted the ban on the software, so it appears that was in the trade deal with China, kind of flew under the radar. So that's key because Xiaomi needs that to progress their X-Ring CPU. The second generation of that, they will need that software to program the machine to build the CPU. So it looks like they're back on track with that. What else? Let's see. There was something else. Screw it. Let's get into the Fold 7, shall we? So let me pull up some pictures here. We got new leaks of the Fold 7. Now, let me pull up a picture here for everybody. Let me see what this one looks like. So here's the thin, razor thin Fold 7. Wow, this is one of the new leaked images. So this one was just leaked earlier. This is the Fold 7 when it's open. Now, this is so thin. So if don't do this while you're driving. Absolutely don't do this while you're driving. Because I know this is a lot of people on the road right now. But check this out. Get your phone. If you're watching this on your phone and you're not driving, obviously, I want you to pull out your phone. If you have a case on it, you might need to peel back the case. I want you to look at how thin, or excuse me, I want you to look at your SIM ejector tool or your SIM tray that's on your phone, whether it's on the bottom, if you have a Samsung S25 series, S24 series, S23 series, it should be on the bottom. If you have a Pixel, the new Pixels are on the bottom as well. So, and then some, I think nothing have them on the left side, I believe. I want you to look at your phone and the SIM tray that's on your phone where you eject the SIM card. Look at how tall, how thin, how small the SIM tray is on your phone. And then look at this picture that I got up here on the display, on the screen. This is mind-blowing. The Z Fold 7, when it's opened up, is basically the same thickness as a freaking SIM card tray. That is mind-blowing. That is incredibly thin. Again, just a hair over 4 millimeters thick when it's unfolded. That is insane. If you look at your SIM card, tray on your phone, and then you look at this picture that I have on the screen, like, holy crap, that is thin. That's literally the size of the SIM tray. That is insane. So that's the first picture we got, right? Now, let me throw up on the screen the second image. This is the device folded open. So it appears that it looks like there's not a crease. Now, I can almost guarantee you, I can guarantee you there will be a crease. There still will be. It's just going to be a little bit less noticeable. So each year it gets a little less noticeable and a little less noticeable with each release, right? I still think they're probably a couple of years away from a zero crease display when it's open. But typically, when these are delivered, they deliver them opened. Meaning, like when you get the device, if you order it from Samsung and they ship it to you. Well, I take it back. I've never ordered a fold device. I've always ordered a flip device. But every flip I ordered, every one that I got, they come opened. Now, it's when you can't really see the crease. It's like basically non-existent when you literally unbox it. And then when you close it and then open it back up again, you're like, ah, shit, there's the crease. Because almost every year I get fooled. I'm like, damn, there's no crease on this. And then I close it, I open it back up, and I'm like, there's the crease. But this could have the little film. You know that they put the film whenever you unbox a brand new device. They always put that latex or whatever it is, that little peel sticker, that little sticker you peel off. And this could have that peel sticker on there too. It looks like it does. But this has new dimensions, right? So the outer display is different from the previous version, and the inner display is going to be different from the previous version as well, right? Now, let me show you this other angle that I got here. Oh, look at this beauty. Look at this beauty. Look at that. This is incredible. So this is how I was saying, I've always wanted a foldable, not the flip. I've already purchased the flip. I'm talking about the foldables, the fold that you open up like a book. I've always wanted one. They just, whenever I go to Best Buy, before they're available, you know how they're available at Best Buy, whenever Samsung has their pre-order available, I always go to Best Buy and I always check them out, right? Because I've been really tempted these last couple of years. And last time I went to Best Buy, I was like, damn, they are so close. It was not enough for me to purchase one. But how I want my fold, and I think this fold is going to fit my needs, or shall I say my wants, right? What I want out of a book style foldable, I want it when it's closed. I want it to feel just like a regular phone, right? Just like an S24. I guess this would be, look, when this is closed, it has the kind of squared off edges. So it's almost going to look like a S24 Ultra, right? When it's closed. So I want it to look like a regular S24 Ultra when it's closed. I just want to be able to open it up like a tablet, right? Is that too much to ask for? Because in the past with the Fold 6, even though they've kind of matured the dimensions of this device when it's closed, it was just not right. They almost had it, and I get it. They need it to be, because it was so thick when you close it, it's like holding two phones together, right? And it just felt too clunky. It just felt too weird. And with it being so thick, it's holding on to two phones is not easy to use, right? Especially with your thumb. So that's why in the past they were kind of, the outer display when it's closed was kind of small, weird looking. It was skinny and tall. Where am I? It was skinny and tall. And it was thick because it was like the thickness of two phones. Now with this one, with it being only 4 millimeters thick, when it's opened up, when you close it, what does that make it? 8 millimeters thick. Now, how thick is an S24 Ultra? S24 Ultra is about 8 millimeters thick when closed. So this is basically going to fit my dream foldable. Now, the outer display is not a 6.8 or 6.9 inch display like the S24 Ultra. This is going to be a 6.6 or 6.7 inch display when it's closed. So the outer display is going to be like it's going to look like an S24 Ultra, but with a 6.6 or 6.7 inch display instead of a 6.9 inch display. However, it's going to have the same thickness of the S24 Ultra when it's closed. See what I'm saying? And then you split it in half when you open it, and that's where it gets razor thin. So this has me very, very excited. I like that blue color. Like someone had said in the chat earlier. Was it you, John? I believe it was. Yeah, John Smith said he liked that blue. I do too. I really like that blue. I saw somebody on Reddit complain about the blue, and I was like, dude, that's a badass color. And they're not just gonna have it in blue. If you don't like the blue, then get it in a black or the silver that they're gonna come with, right? So I like it. I like it. I like it. It's gonna have the 200 megapixel sensor that the S25 Ultra has. Now, battery life. I was also on Reddit and saw people dogging the battery. I want to put people's fears of the battery life. Hold your horses. Don't complain just yet, right? So if we get this thing and it has horrible battery life, be my guest, blast it online, do what you want. But Samsung has a trick up their sleeve. Nobody's talking about this on the internet except right here on eSIMstudios. So if you have not had the privilege, and I say that with realness, if you have not had the privilege of using an S25 Edge, Samsung's going to put that secret weapon that they put in the S25 Edge inside this Z Fold 7. I have confirmation on that 100%. So Samsung implemented a new battery algorithm. They baked it into the operating system to fine-tune the operating system to absolutely squeeze every last juice of energy out of that small, what does it have, a 3,800 milliamp hour battery? Relatively small for a smartphone these days. The Fold 7 has been confirmed that it's going to have a 4,400 milliamp hour battery. You know, when you look on paper, you're like, could be bigger, especially it has two displays. Look, I'm going to guarantee it right now. With Samsung implementing this new battery AI algorithm into the operating system of this Fold 7, the battery life is going to be drastically better than the Fold 6 battery life, and that's without roughly changing the battery size. I guarantee you. Samsung has amazed me with what they did in this S25 Edge. It gets better battery life than my S25 Ultra. In the basic, it has a much smaller battery, and the only main difference is, well, there's a few differences, but main difference is the battery algorithm that they baked into the operating system. They're going to do the same thing to this. So I've seen people blast it online. Oh, they're not doing anything with the batteries. They're not putting silicone carbon batteries in here, which they might not for a while. We got news on that. But have no fear. Just before you say anything nasty online, try it for yourself. If you have an S25 Edge, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't have an S25 Edge, you're going to have to take my word for it. And you do plan on getting this, battery life should not be a worry. I would not be worried about battery life one bit, right? So we actually got word of why Apple are taking so long to implement silicon carbon batteries in these devices. So it turns out that the U.S. government is to blame. So the U.S. government only allows a certain amount of lithium-ion batteries on airplanes. That's correct. Samsung and Apple simply would not, by law, could not transport that many types of batteries over to the U.S. to where they can mass produce a product. We're talking millions of phones and that many silicon carbon batteries. It's a flight risk. So don't blame Samsung. Don't blame Apple. It's the government. The files were just uncovered. Shame on me because it literally, that story just popped into my head. I'm gonna pull up that paperwork. I have proof. I'll pull up that paperwork probably tonight or tomorrow, and I'll definitely hit on that story tomorrow with the adequate paperwork, just to show you that it's not Samsung's fault that they're not putting silicon carbon batteries in these things. Just logistically, they can't do it. It's just not possible. So, pretty interesting story. I saw that and I was like, whoa, what the hell? Came out of left field. But yeah, this is pretty freaking badass. Now, let's do this too. Let me pull up this. And am I missing any other news? Since we have the Z Fold 7 here, let's see if I'm missing any news. Here's that leak I was talking about. Let's go over to the news section. And I think this is the big news of the day for this, but I just want to make sure we're not missing anything. Let's see. While closed. Now, I pulled a video for you. There's this video these people are talking about. There's a new video, but I honestly don't think it's the Fold 7. I think it's the Fold 6. And that's why I didn't include it in today's stream. Because after I pulled the video, now it was an Amazon review. It was a video that came from an Amazon seller. They're selling screen protectors for the outer display for the Fold 7. And in that Amazon product, you know how you can scroll through the pictures, and some have videos. Many don't, but a few do. And this new video leaked of the screen protector for the Fold 7 showed them installing it on a Fold 7. I think it's the Fold 6, because after viewing it, after editing the video, I was looking at it and I'm like, I don't know if that's is that the Fold 7? I mean, can I enlarge this? Is that the Fold 7? It might be. Yeah, shit, it might be. I didn't load that video, did I? I can load it. Hang on. Yeah, ready? Let me load it here. And then I'll play it. Here we go. Hang on. Can I pause it? Y'all tell me, is that the Fold 7? Yeah, I don't know. It looks like it could be. Some of those images were not. I mean, like some of those shots were not. They didn't film that in just one shot. It was like an accumulation, and they edited the video together. I think one or two of those shots was not. I think it was the Fold 6 on some of those angles, but I think this one is the Fold 7. Give me 1 second. Hang on. I think that is the Fold 7. Okay. Now, I think that's all the Fold 7 news we got. But highly anticipated. I'm actually thinking about getting one, honestly. Stay tuned to the channel. I'm going to cover the Fold 7 release. I'm going to cover the Flip 7 release, the whole Unpacked event. And I think Samsung's coming out with new Galaxy Buds as well. I believe they're coming out with the second generation of Galaxy Buds FE, the second gen, which I'm happy because I got a black pair and a white pair, Buds FE. I love these things so much. Battery life is insane. They never run out of battery. I love them. So I'm definitely going to get more Buds. But stay tuned to the channel. We got all that and more. I'm definitely going to get one of them since I'm not going to get the Phone 3. Save a little money and use that money I was going to buy the Phone 3 with, and get it and put that to the Fold 7, right, or the Flip 7. I'm going to get one of them. So stay tuned to the channel. I got all the coverage for that. And yeah, I'm sure I'll review, if I do get it, definitely review the ThinBorne case for it, because the ThinBorne and or FiberBorne case for the Fold 7 or Flip 7 is going to be the case to get, right? It just is. So we got plenty of that. Could be a dummy phone, but look, dummy phones are exactly the same dimensions. Those dummy phones are what the what the case companies use to mold their cases on. So even if it is a dummy phone, that's all right. It's the exact same dimensions. So pretty interesting. But getting on to the S26. So a little bit of good news and bad news. And that's not the S26 Ultra, right? That's just a generic photo. S26 Ultra is going to get the same sensor, well, same and different. So it's going to be the same sensor. However, Samsung's bringing a new feature. It's going to have a variable aperture baked inside that sensor, which is rarely seen on cell phones. It would drastically improve the quality of the photos you take and videos, quite honestly. And I think there's only one other phone that has a variable aperture. Let me see. Let's do this. Let's find out. It's not common at all. Let's find out which phones have the variable aperture. Hang on. Cat's trying to jump over here on my computer. Let's see here. Variable aperture. Do any phones have it? I could have sworn there was one, and it was had to have been like a Vivo, some Chinese phone, or maybe it was a Xiaomi. Yes, it's the Xiaomi. It's the Xiaomi 14 Ultra. Has the variable aperture, which is a game changer. Samsung's going to put this in the S26 Ultra. Same sensor, but it will improve photo quality. So I'm really, really happy about that. So it's not too much of a bummer, right? So you're gonna hear people online again talk shit about Samsung, saying, "Oh, it's this. They put the same sensors in it." Well, it's gonna have variable aperture, right? So it's gonna go right over people's heads. You're gonna know it because you heard it here, but 99 out of 100 people are not gonna know that. So don't take the bait. And they're going to say, oh, it doesn't have silicon carbon batteries. Tell them to chill. Samsung's going to implement the battery AI algorithm in the S26 series, upcoming S26 series, as they are with the Fold 7. Samsung's going to implement that battery algorithm in every future Samsung flagship released. So Fold 7, Flip 7, S26 series, S27 series. It's been such a success, and not that many people have talked about it, but it is a game changer. The more devices they put in, look, people will start really realizing that over time, right? It's going to take a little while. But don't be fooled online with what people tell you. Let's see what else. Oh, let me show you the nothing phone before I get out of here. So here is. Sorry, I'm trying to get used to this new software. Do 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 do. I know I have it somewhere around here. You know what? I think I need to add it. Here we go. Let me remove this desktop. So check this out. So the phone 3 on the left hand side, right here of the screen, that's the phone 3. That's the one that came out, right? And check out the phone in the middle. The phone is in the middle is the mock-up somebody did on Twitter that they just made a few small changes, and I was like, you know what? If it still looks weird, right? It still looks weird in the middle, but I was like, you know what? Doesn't look that bad. In fact, I think if they released that phone in the middle, I probably would have gotten it, right? The phone on the left, the real phone that was released today, looks ungodly ugly, looks hideous, just looks, it looks horrible. It's probably the worst phone I've ever seen design. And I've seen some real shitty designs. This has got to be on the top of the list. It's just all sorts of ugly. Now, the phone in the middle, the sensors are lined up properly. That glyph matrix on the top right is expanded from a small circle on the top right of the phone to a more viewable rectangle, right? It takes up more of the phone on the back, on the top, which you can basically use to implement more functions and or features and or alerts from what your phone's doing, right? There's only so much you can do with that little circle on the left. Now, the reason why I have the device on the right-hand side is because that's what I was hoping the phone 3 would look like on the right. That design on the right leaked about 2 weeks before, or 2 weeks ago. And when I first saw it, I was like, you know what? I didn't necessarily like it when I first saw it, but now it looks really nice compared to the phone 3 all the way on the left. I wish, and I actually really like the one on the right, the concept on the right. I know that was one of the finalists. Now, what I hope nothing does is make that device that's on the right, well, I hope that's either the phone 4 or the phone 4A on the right side. I hope they keep something like that and make that a future release, right? What we got is just horrible. And oh, get this. What I don't understand about what nothing did with the pricing, it's very weird, and I don't understand it. So what they did with the pricing is they set the pricing at $800, but that's $800, but that's around the globe. So you know how like when Samsung comes out with a device, or Apple, or anybody that comes out with a phone, the price that they have in the US is not the same price that they have in India. It's not the same price that they have in Austria. It's not the same price that they have in Australia. It's not the same price that they have in Japan, right? The prices are adjusted for inflation as well as exchange rates, right? So nothing has this device set at $800 around the globe. So you technically could be paying more for this device than other people around the world, right? So what's $800 here in America, and over in India, they're paying which would be the equivalent to our currency, is $922. So India is paying, if you're in India and you're buying this device, you're paying in American dollars $922. WTF. Because Samsung, when they sell a phone, it'll be $1,000 US dollars, but then it might be 1122 in Austria, but that is the equivalent to us here in America paying $1,000. You see what I'm saying? So the companies will just adjust it to basically equal the same amount no matter around the world. Nothing is doing the opposite. Nothing is not adjusting the prices around the world. So depending on where you live, you are paying more or less, I guess technically, for the device. And here's the weird thing: you'd think the phone is manufactured in India, and India is one of the most expensive places to buy a Nothing Phone 3. It's actually the second on the list of most expensive places to buy a Nothing Phone 3. And that's actually where they save the most money, because if they're manufactured in India, where the labor is literally dirt cheap, I think it's the cheapest labor in the world, minus Brazil, minus China. So they're literally paying very little to build this device, and they're asking for one of the highest rates for this phone. So their profit margin in India is way bigger than it is here in the US. So for them not adjusting the pricing, I just think is really weird. I've never seen that before. So I don't know what the strategy is behind that. I don't know who came up with this idea. Again, no other phone company does this. And I'm not really sure why they're doing this. Doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to a lot of people. So I have a viewer that reached out and said, the crazy thing is we're paying. Explained it to me, and I was like, holy crap, is that right? And I got online and checked, and sure enough, that's right. The viewer was right. They're paying $922 for this because they did not adjust the price for the device around the globe. It's just $800. So it's really weird. This has been a very weird launch, this phone 3. Like, the decisions they're making don't make any sense, and that's not normally like them. Normally they've been spot on with all their decisions that they've been with design, with releases, with what we thought was releases. We waited 2 years for this crap. But then again, every decision they made with this phone 3 just does not make any sense. I don't know why, but they just told this is going to be a complete flop. You can mark my words, complete flop. So the middle phone looks actually not bad. Again, if they had made the middle phone, I probably would have purchased it. So, by the way, all of y'all that got free cases last week, I shipped them out 2 days ago, earlier in the week, I think on Tuesday or Wednesday. So check your tracking, and it should be moving, right? I think most people should get their free cases probably on Monday, I would bet, since today's a holiday. But they'll still move in the system. Like the UPS drivers, the truck drivers, they're still working. The pilots, they're still working. So it's just the deliveries are not delivering. So check your tracking if you want a free case, and it should be moving, should be delivered, as I said, on Monday. Now, our next free giveaway is going to be next week. So probably, I don't know, Monday or Tuesday. I'll put a community post out when we're doing our next free giveaway, and I'll make sure everybody is aware of that. We'll do cases. What else do I have? I got a lot of cases. So if you have a phone, which I'm sure you do, stay tuned, because I'm trying to get rid of my cases. I got Pixel I got Pixel cases, Pixel 8 series, Pixel 9 series. I have S23, S24, S25 cases. And I believe I got iPhone cases, and I have S25 Edge cases as well. And I think I have iPhone 15 Pro and iPhone 16 Pro. So if you have a 15 Pro, 16 Pro, Pixel, Samsung, stay tuned, and we will do a free case giveaway next week. I'll ship them anywhere in the world, so please stay tuned for that. Yours is arriving Tuesday or Wednesday, Miami mail. Cool. Awesome. That sounds good. All right, well, let me get out of here. I think it's about dinner time, so I don't know. Wife got burgers and stuff like that, so we're gonna. Although it is pouring down rain outside, I doubt I can grill. Anyways, let me get out of here. I appreciate the time as always, and stay tuned for more Fold 7 news. Right, I have Pixel news that I didn't get to today, so I'll probably do it tomorrow. And more case giveaways for next week. So everybody have a safe, keyword safe, and enjoyable 4th of July. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace out. Don't drink too much. Peace. I still can't figure out how to stop the stream.